start recording. Yeah, there's the intro should be playing right now, and we're talking over the intro.
Hi, everybody.
I wonder if anybody can hear the intro.
Hello, people.
I hope so. So yeah, so this is I'm not really as dumb as I pretend to be. All right, so look at that. We're I hope everybody got to hear that and the intro. My friends Gii and Chris are here. Hey guys.
What's up?
Thanks for coming back.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah. So most of the people that watch this show are probably not going to be in Greeley, Colorado. So
What's up, Germany?
yeah, I don't know about that, but so you guys, I'm going to let you guys give a little bit of intro. I want to hear a little bit about GFY. I want to hear about you guys got a show this week together.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys played together before?
We actually, that's how kind of we met. We started off playing shows together.
Okay.
He joined my band as a bass player, and then
Yeah, probably
10 years ago.
yeah. But
Okay.
like 4 or 5 months after we met.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
All right.
Yeah, we're just celebrating our 10-year anniversary. So
Yeah.
uh,
Congratulations.
Our friendiversary.
Yeah, congratulations.
I've never hated it more.
Well, and Chris and I are drinking caffeinated water
Yeah.
from Kroger. I found that at the grocery store, and I thought I'll switch from energy drinks and start drinking caffeinated water.
Does it
It's
actually
probably-
work?
We'll find out.
This is the first one. I just
Oh,
bought them this
gotcha.
morning.
I just like, I feel like caffeine is like inconsistent with me. It either goes like it happens too much or it doesn't happen at all.
Yeah, that's
So,
fair.
I don't want to try. I'm
You
good.
get like anxiety or something.
I get massive anxiety
or
from
you
caffeine.
get sleepy.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're drinking sugar-free Sprite.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Give me sugar-free, caffeine-free.
Sorry about the cough. I've got a little sinus infection. I'm on the down tail of it, but I do not have COVID.
Can you
Okay.
taste your water?
I did take a test, and I do not have COVID. So
Yeah, because last time we were supposed to do this.
it was my kid, I
Yeah,
think, that had
yeah,
COVID.
yeah,
So
that's right.
so tell us a little bit, Chris. I'll start with you about defeats the porpoise.
So yeah, we kind of started in 2019, like the end of 2019.
Oh, right when everything was really ready to turn
so
really
we were
awesome.
Getting ready to play our very first show
Hollywood
in
Bowl.
March of
It's
2020.
gonna be
And then
sold
everything,
out, you know.
everything shut down the
Yeah.
week before.
Yeah, my tour was supposed to start March 22nd, 2020, and I know how that
It was
goes.
great. It was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
That's amazing.
And G, you play. You're a solo performer, singer, songwriter.
Yeah, make sure you throw it in there. I don't want people to think that I have like an OnlyFans or something. You know,
You do.
we
don't
can't
you?
curse in this thing, right?
Yeah,
All right, dope. Just making
yeah,
sure.
we can curse. I mean, you know me. I've done it on your show, so
That's fair. Yeah, I just know, because we get pretty wild on our show. So it's,
Sometimes.
and that's what I put in the advertisements for this show. Is if you've seen my appearances on your show, you know that shit goes off the rails pretty quickly.
Very true.
it's gonna get and especially because there's no alcohol, it's gonna be.
Well, right in the middle of the day. Usually we do these in the afternoon or towards.
I mean, I'm not against it. I'm just saying.
I think one time we did it starting at like 10 o'clock, and I had like a 6 a.m. flight that next morning, and yeah.
Yeah, but no, but just yes, I am a local musician that plays here in Greeley, Colorado.
You play more than Greeley, Colorado.
Yeah,
You played
just-
the Hard Rock Cafe.
I did. I was one of the last performers that played the Hard Rock
Yeah.
Cafe.
Yeah, before it closed.
I think that's awesome, and I've bragged about this to G, and I think that is really something. I know you think that the Hard Rock, it's lost its luster, but I think that there's a picture of you that you have with the big logo in the back. I think it's amazing. I think it's really, really hot.
No, it was really cool. It wasn't, 'cause you think of the Hard Rock, you think, you don't necessarily think about like food, so to speak. You think of it as a venue, as live music
And a T-shirt company.
and
Yeah.
t-shirt company.
Right.
And so what happened was, I remember showing up and I was like, oh, this is actually like really cool. Like at first I was kind of like, yeah, it's just a gig, whatever. But they had like a sound person, like the stage was really nice. They had really good lighting, like so it really felt like oh, this is a really fun performance. So it was pretty fun to do it.
So talk about GFY before we get started with my questions. I kind of stole the format of your show. I've got 5, 6, 7 questions for you that I'm going to ask.
Any timer?
But no timer, no timer. But my new box does have this.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. I don't have fuck that guy on there yet, but I'll need to.
Should have brought our board.
So all right, GFY Productions. Tell us a little bit about what you do and where you hope to go with this and some of the stuff you've done.
Yeah, started in 2020 mid-pandemic because we just didn't have anything to do as musicians. G was kind of dabbling in the live stream. They were doing live stream shows every Tuesday.
Yeah,
or something.
it was around the same time that Paul was actually doing his live streams as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so yeah, we just kind of got together and said, hey man, like, we should start working on music or start doing this and start doing that. And there's also a couple of things that kind of like really push us to be like, oh yeah, like you know how it is.
Well,
like,
it
people,
was
fuck you
mostly
over
like we
it,
kind of got drunk and made a joke. It's like, let's just get on our bikes and go, man. Start a business. And it's like, maybe we should.
Yeah, yeah.
And so so that's evolved. So it started off more as a music company, I think, and like live streaming as well. And then we started going into podcasting, and then gradually moved into like video, and then just event planning, and then marketing. So it's kind of a little bit everywhere right now.
Yeah, we're doing like live sound at like shows, basically.
Well, you guys have a sessions thing on Sundays, correct? A Sunday session.
Yeah.
And that's this Sunday with Ben Pooh. Yeah.
Luna's Tacos Tequila. So if you're from Germany, sorry you can't make it.
Yeah.
But no, so that's something that we want to do, and I think as we evolved as a company, we also evolved as to make it our goal to kind of bring Grilly up a little bit better, bigger and better, and have higher expectations as to what we expect from it.
Lower the minimum bar, or sorry, raise the minimum bar.
Right,
basically.
right.
Yeah, because I think it's one of those things where we're kind of like I think we're kind of settled and situated in Greeley, and it's one of those things. Growing up, we always heard, Greeley sucks, it smells, it's this, it's that, I can't wait to get out of here, this, and that. And for some reason, man, I've tried moving away, and it's always brought me back. So,
yep.
I lived in Evans for a hot bit.
I live in Evans now, but it's because rent's fucking expensive as shit.
Yeah, I think one of the first times you and I really hung out was in Austin.
Yeah, that's right.
When you lived there after you left the brewery and you moved to Austin for a while, and we came down to go to Jester King and hung out.
Yeah, fuck Austin. No, I love Austin. The music community over there is really, really toxic, and
I imagine it's pretty cliquish and pretty
playing a gig for $25 and then them taking money away from you because you got tips is kind of fucking bullshit. But whatever, it's fine. Go Greeley.
Onward, right? Yeah. Well, this podcast would not exist without these two guys. Without a doubt, this podcast would not exist. I was doing it via Zoom, and it was very low production value, and it would not be what it is today without you guys. I
think that's a wonderful compliment. But it's also one of those things where we've realized it's specifically trying to work with people to start new products and start new ways of production. It takes effort, and so just by you doing it, just by you doing it, man, like that's already. You're doing better than 80% of the people that try to have this idea and not do anything about it.
Yeah, because most people just don't start. And starting is literally, like you were saying, like 80% of it.
Well, you guys, I think you both, I don't know, Chris, if you've seen my show, but Gii, I know you've seen it. And everybody thinks they can be a comedian. Everybody thinks they can be funny. Everybody thinks they can get in front of an audience. I think everybody thinks, I've got a great idea for a podcast. I think I've got this. It's you got to take that. So you got to get off the couch and do something.
The best analogy I can say is like those people that criticize like football players for being shit.
Well, they're just
right.
They're just fat as fuck sitting on the couch.
Right.
Hot wings in their face.
Right.
Oh, that guy's slow.
Telling that guy to run faster. Right.
Oh, that girl can lose some weight.
Right.
Shit like that,
Right.
But it's one of those things where, we look at the idea of talk is cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And so we really want to be able to, stick it to the man and just do like these ideas and creativeness that we want to do. So like, Paul, like you doing this actually helps us out because it makes us feel like we need to step up our game and be in the midst of it, because this is a cool experience,
Yeah.
Well, and I as I told you guys before we went on air, I've talked you up. I've got a few friends that want to start doing one, so I've talked you up, and they're going to get a hold of you and have you guys help them build what I've built here.
Solid.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
So on the topic of podcast, you guys have a podcast called Best of Five.
Yeah.
If you guys want to write stuff down.
Yeah, we just released episode 127 today.
Okay. Yeah. What's is there a guest or what's the?
It's just me and G on this one.
Okay.
But we are starting to phase in like guest hosts for when I'm busy or G's busy or something like that, because our schedules are just getting busier. So we're just trying to be like, all right, we can't stop production on the podcast for weeks at a time.
Right.
So we should just get somebody to fill in for us.
Right.
So we're kind of having 2 guest hosts right now that fill in here and there. So.
Nice. So you've had some guests on. Who are some dream guests? There's no limit. Who would you want to have on your podcast? Who?
Like anybody?
Anybody.
Oh, man.
Hitler.
Okay.
Translator. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Would you guys speak Spanish to Hitler? That would be funny. Yeah.
That'd be funny.
I wouldn't want Hitler.
I mean, for me, it'd just be like a bunch of random comedians like Andrew Santino, Theo Vaughn. Probably Joe Rogan, even though I don't really like his podcast, but just he seems like an interesting person to talk to.
Okay.
I don't know, Tom Segura. I think that'd be funny.
You want Messi, the soccer player?
No. I'm actually a Ronaldo jersey right now, but no, I think honestly, I'd be more comedians, but it'd be more like Like I would love like Paul Rudd to be really fun to just talk to, just hang out with.
Mhm.
Robin Williams would be really cool if we can like just drop the act for a second
Well,
and just have that conversation.
I've got a Ouija board somewhere around here. We could try to get a hold of Robin
Yeah,
Williams.
try to get a hold of Roger.
Yeah.
I feel like if you do that, I'd be like, it's like he's speaking Scottish. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's just also just people in general that are just interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's why like I fuck with Joe Rogan, because it is one of those things where like what like I don't like screw all the politicalness of it. It's just literally he just like wants to talk to people.
Yeah.
And there's like absolutely nothing wrong with it, even if it's like you can't take anything that anyone says on a podcast like serious or as like scientific fact if it's not a scientific fact podcast. If it's just a conversation you're having with people, and this guy believes in aliens, like
Right.
you want to have that conversation, right?
Yeah, because like we're at that point where we're, like I said, we have 127 episodes plus our bonus episode, so we're well over probably almost 300 episodes just in general. We just talk a lot, so sometimes you just say stuff, just say stuff.
Yeah.
And someone like comes up to us like, "Hey, that was kind of fucked up what you said." Like, what did I say?
Yeah, right.
You said this. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember any of that.
Yeah, I don't remember what I had for breakfast, so don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Dude, we've had a lot of conversations. Yeah, so if you guys don't know, I guess our format of it, if you haven't watched our podcast, it's a podcast. It's like Seinfeld. It's literally about nothing.
Yeah, kind of.
We have 5 subjects that we talk about for about 7 minutes, and once that 7 minutes is usually done,
Yeah, except when I'm on, it goes on for you.
We're getting a little looser with it as it goes on.
But it goes anywhere from like like your first girlfriend to your first car to
Yeah, like the episode released today, we talked about sex ed in high school.
Okay.
Or just in school in general, and like the birthing video that we
Yeah,
all were
yeah.
forced to watch.
Yeah.
And then I guess they don't really do that anymore, so I don't know.
do you actually ask Morgan?
Yeah, she's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Well, they figure everybody knows it from like 5th grade because of the internet.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I mean,
Kids
they
watching
yeah,
Pornhub at,
yeah,
like, 13.
right.
Fucking A, man, that's crazy.
Right.
I'm
Well,
so glad I'm not that young.
You know, I'm starting to book out shows for the next. I've got several that we'll talk about that I've got coming up. But I kind of made a list of maybe not specific people, but ideas. I want to have like a bounty hunter on. I want to have somebody that's gone across country on getting somebody that skipped bail.
Yeah.
I'd like to get like a homicide detective to talk about the process of the first 48, that show, kind of the process of that. I'd love to have like a sex worker on to talk about the real business of being an escort and that kind of stuff. So I've got a friend in Little Rock, Arkansas, who is an attorney who has argued in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. I think that would be a really fun thing to talk about, getting in front of the Supreme Court and being a lawyer in front of the Supreme Court. So I've got some bands coming up. I've got on the, I think I should know the date. I think it's the 8th. Yeah, October 8th, I've got Brandon Ringo from Mammoth Caravan. It's a doom metal band out of Arkansas.
Very cool.
Solid.
On this Sunday, we're going to do a special one with me and Amy Jones and Paul Prater. And Prater's been on the show probably. I think he has the record. We start our Haunted Arkansas tours next week.
Oh, solid.
And so going through the month of October, so we're going to talk about that. On Sunday, October 29th, this is a really fun one. My friend Ryan Roth, you guys know Ryan Roth.
Yeah.
Ryan's going to interview me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Ryan's gonna. So if you guys have any questions for Roth,
Fucking right.
yeah, right. And then on Sunday, November 5th, I'm having a guy named Terry Tyson, who is, I would say, probably, if not the nation, one of the world's leading experts on seance and on the seances and talking to the dead.
Oh,
And so
I
I
heard Sands. Like,
yeah, he knows sand.
like it's
very
course.
well.
yeah, he's an expert
everywhere.
on sand because I
don't
thought
think
that would be
sand.
very interesting. Let's talk about fucking dirt for 90 minutes.
Hey, dirt is interesting as fuck, man.
All right.
They just recently put compost on my grass, and apparently that's a good thing you need to do. So yeah,
Okay.
fucking soil is awesome.
All right.
You soil in it and grass grows. It's a dope.
Gii just passed me a little note here, and it reminded me of a time that we were at some shitty brewery in Windsor. I don't remember what it was called. I won't say the name because they'll hire you back. And but the beer was lousy.
Oh, my
and
brother.
okay, well, okay, you said it.
Hey, the beer's gotten
and,
better.
And Gii plays with an iPad in front of him. Well, I found a.
Fucking story.
Have you heard this, Chris?
Yeah, well,
I found.
you text him too, and it pops up on his iPad.
No, I airdropped him.
Oh,
One of the
you
most
airdropped him.
one of the most disgusting pictures I could find on the internet. And it just he's up there playing, and all of a sudden it just pops.
I'm a goddamn Paul.
Yeah, I was
Like on the.
I was pretty excited about that.
It was. That was a. If I can airdrop it on this stream, I would. But I'm
So, all right. So
I don't
here's
want a virus on my phone.
here's my questions. Here's a couple questions. You guys are both big Rockies fans.
Yes.
The Rockies, as of today, are 56 and 95.
I didn't take
with 11 games to go.
They'll make the
There
playoffs.
are only 2 teams in Major League Baseball history that have never lost 100 games. Colorado Rockies and the Anaheim Angels. Can you believe that?
That is crazy because both those teams are not good.
And
Right.
They're probably about to, right?
Well, the Angels are
Yeah,
safe.
yeah, the Angels
Well,
are
but the
safe.
Rockies, so the Rockies have 11 games left. They have to go 7-4 to avoid their first
That's not
100
gonna
loss
happen,
season.
dude.
Well, here's who they play. I've got their schedule written down here. They've got 3 games at the Cubs, 4 games.
They just beat the Cubs.
They've got 4 games with the Dodgers and 3 games with the Twins. Here's why I think the Dodgers might be easy to beat. The Dodgers are 14 games ahead in first place.
Yeah. So why?
So
Yeah.
they're not going to, I mean,
Yeah, I get it.
so I don't know.
They
It's
might
going to
bring
be,
their A squad for like a game. But that's the thing about like baseball series. Like they need to win one game, so they win that one game and they don't care about the rest.
right.
Yeah. So then the Rockies can win 2 of the 3 games and still you're like, oh, okay, that still wasn't.
But the Cubs are in the run. The Cubs are 5 games out.
Yeah.
So the Cubs need to win. And then I didn't look up the Twins.
Yeah, because I think the Rockies were just in Chicago a couple weeks ago, and they beat the Cubs. They won the series with the Cubs, 2-3.
So we have to go 7-4 in our next 11 games to avoid the 100 game loss.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna beat the Cubs in a series again. I think the Cubs are gonna take 2 of the 3 games.
Okay. So that's 2 losses.
Yeah.
Let's say the
Dodgers.
Dodgers. Let's say we split. We had a 4-game series, so we
Yeah,
split.
we could
That's
split.
4.
Yeah.
We would have to sweep the Twins.
I don't know how the Twins are doing.
I don't know either. I
Yeah,
didn't
know.
check. I didn't check. So,
I guess it's possible, but I definitely think they're gonna get real close to losing 100 games.
well, and remember our illustrious ownership said, I really think we got a good shot of playing 500 baseball this year.
And they did it.
But what is he saying? They're playing 500 baseball just within the National League or something?
I don't know.
Or
I
the
don't-
NL West
So,
specifically or something?
the question
No,
is,
we're not. But
Tomorrow, you guys get the call, and you are the 2024 GMs. What do you do to change the team?
Sell it.
oh god,
I guess you're not the owner, huh? But
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's fine.
I try to GoFundMe to raise a lot more money to pay talent.
Yeah, is that the problem?
It's
I
literally
mean, the
they
team's making money because we're always top 10. We won't be this
But
year,
see-
but we're always top 10 in
yeah,
attendance.
The Rockies are making money because they're not spending money.
Right.
And whereas the Dodgers are consistently good, they're operating at a loss every season because they're taking such a huge cut out of their profits to pay players.
Should there be a rule in baseball like there is in football to where if you don't spend a certain amount of money and you don't stay competitive, I mean, should it be like Premier Soccer?
Well, we were
We've
actually-
talked about this
yeah,
quite
we
a
had
bit.
that conversation where you like bring up minor league teams to replace the worst teams, kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
I think so. Here's my thing: is I think that sports right now are in a really bad impasse, especially like not like college sports. Not I think not yet, but they will get there. Is that everything is money based instead of like actually like talent or like championship based anymore. Like sports, like professional sports haven't become about winning a championship as much as it's become of like owners just making a profit, right?
Yeah.
I would love to see some type of like regulation and promotion aspect in U.S. sports. I think that would actually help the sport. And it's for those who don't know, because you're like, yeah, like soccer isn't a sport. You can suck it because it is. In the Premier League in Europe, they have like the top tier league, which is called.
I think
Premier
everybody
League, right?
knows because they watch Ted Lasso.
Yeah, that's probably yeah.
That's
That is the thing.
that's
like,
where I learned about soccer.
if you're in the bottom 2 in the Premier League, you get pretty much like you like lose a
Demoted.
promotion. You get
Yeah.
demoted to the second league. Still competitive, but you're not competing at the top tier. I think that's brilliant because then that'd make the Rockies actually try to play instead of being regulated.
Yeah. Well, one of the arguments about why baseball's gotten so bad and the between the good and the bad is there's too many teams. They've added expansion and they're still looking at adding more. And
Yeah.
what that does is that dilutes the pitching talent. I mean, you go back before, the 90s, before we added, how many teams we added since the 90s? 6, 8, maybe?
Yeah, because I think they're at 32
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
And you had
Or is it 30?
you
I don't
had
remember.
three aces on every staff.
Yeah.
Now you're lucky if you have
have
one.
one, yeah.
I mean,
And if they get hurt, you're just
right.
SOL. Yeah.
So
And
where's
yeah.
Showtime going from the Angels? Where's he getting in that?
So he has like a torn shoulder.
Yeah,
or something, and he
he's
cleared
got
out his locker.
to have Tommy John surgery.
Yeah,
but he's
so-
still gonna sign the biggest contract in baseball.
Yeah, I think the Angels are going to keep him.
I think that's I think
I don't think they should, but
Your mic is
Oh.
working.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
So everything you just said, Chris, it doesn't matter.
that's fair.
All right. Uh-oh. I don't know what's going on. So,
Check. I can hear myself.
all right.
I can check that quick.
Yeah, we're gonna have Chris say something.
Check. 1, 2.
All right, it's going into the board.
All right, don't say anything.
Check, check, 1, 2. Hello, hello.
Yeah, that's gone through. Default. Interesting. Keep on talking, Paul, since you know.
Well, I don't. Can we? I don't know. I don't know how we want to do this. We want to slide the mics in between us, and just go from there rather than muck with this. And
Host mic audio.
did I do something over here? Maybe as a
No, because if it's all going through, it's all going through.
okay. Oh, because you're seeing that. Yeah.
Love
Everything you talk about the rock is just
live
done.
troubleshooting.
Or sound. There it is. Output. Interesting.
Maybe it's not plugged in. Let me check the board here and see. Oh, sorry, Chris. We check the connection on the back of your.
Yeah, not like I can hear it. Like my mic.
Well, I can hear you too. Yeah, so it is plugged in.
Okay, I think it's because it's picking up through here, not through the actual mics.
So it wasn't coming through the computer. Or
Yeah, so they can hear us. We're like right here, but yeah.
So they're not hearing us through these mics; they're hearing us through this computer.
Yeah.
So that just needs to be set up through the road.
Which it is, yeah. Is the road connected to that one?
Well, yeah, because look, I mean, when you talk, look at the sound things on the road. They all go up. Talk in yours, and you can see it.
Yeah, check. Yeah, is this? You said this is connected to the board.
Yeah.
So then it
I swear to God,
so it should be your setting output, just for the regular settings.
Oh, that's from my old road. I wonder. I didn't download the software for the new one.
There might be a downloaded software, yeah.
Okay.
Because watch.
But my mic's working and G's mic's working. Now I'm dead. Now at the
See, it's picking up through here.
yeah
So
yeah.
Well, I guess we'll take a quick break and figure out the solution. So
Shit.
stay tuned for some more.
Yep. All right. So okay. So somebody, if we didn't lose everybody, let me know if you can hear. All right. This is me.
Let's see. This is me.
And I'm still here.
All right. So
see.
somebody let me know. This is me.
And I'm still.
It works. Let's celebrate.
Yes. So while the tech guys figured out the stuff that I did not know, I ran downstairs and got a bottle of whiskey because it is.
Ooh, this is that special reserve.
So it's gonna turn into that. So we were talking the Rockies. You guys
Yeah.
are GMs for the. Thank you for joining us back. If anybody's back with us,
So just a quick recap of what Chris was saying. He says the Rockies are
Rockies-
going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Rockies thought
And,
they need to spend more money. That's
yes,
pretty.
pretty
but
much.
also, kind of going back on that, how you were saying like every team used to have like a stud pitcher. Now there's too many teams. I don't think the Rockies have ever had like an absolute legend of a pitcher.
Yes, they have.
well, so Ubaldo Jimenez was he threw a no hitter, and then he went on to play. We traded to the Twins.
Pirates, right?
No, the Twins. I think he went to the.
Yeah, but his career got better after the Rockies.
Oh no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Well,
so
and
yeah,
then there
the
was
thing.
two guys that we had. Remember Nagel and Hampton that had great careers. Then they came to the Rockies and were not good.
Yeah. Also, just professional pitchers don't want to pitch most like half their games at Coors Field because they don't get movement. They don't get a lot of stuff. Like, God, what's his name now? I can't even remember. The stud pitcher we have now.
Freeland?
No, the brown one. I can't remember his name. I don't know why.
Jimenez? No, it's not Jimenez.
He got injured, so he's not playing.
Okay.
Oh.
But anyway, so like he has like a special like so his RPM is super low compared to like pitches everywhere else. So the
Diaz?
spin rate basically, he's the catcher. It starts with an M, but I can't remember it.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head.
So
But yeah,
are you guys going to any more games for the? I mean,
trying.
Yes.
Yeah, trying to.
Yeah, we're going to be going to the Cubs or the Dodgers game on Thursday of next week.
Yeah.
And then I'll be going on that Sunday to the Twins. I think the final home game.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I found $5 tickets. I'm like, yeah.
well,
fuck,
right.
I'm
Right.
going.
Do
You
it,
should-
do it.
Had you tried for an extra 5 minutes, you could have found free tickets.
Right. I'm
So-
definitely going to wear that shirt that we were supposed to wear today. So I
Yeah.
forgot
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
I totally forgot about
Yeah,
that.
we're
If you wear it in the stadium, take a picture and send it to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
will do.
We've decided we were going on this whole bit that we decided that we're gonna when we go next week we're gonna buy custom jerseys,
Mhm.
and it's gonna be 0-0, and the last time's gonna be Dinger.
Because he's the only Rocky that's never going to get traded.
So yes, we're going to be rocking Dinger shirts because I mean,
So on the topic of sports, this was a question that was posed this morning by Ryan Roth to ask you guys.
what's up, Ryan?
So, what are your 3 most hated sports teams or sports figures?
Any team from Philadelphia.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah,
fuck
pretty
that
much.
city. Sorry,
pretty
if you're
much
from
same,
Philadelphia.
too.
I'm just saying, y'all.
Well, you know why I don't like Philadelphia? Because of Stephen A. Smith.
Oh yeah, well, even better reason. Listen, you guys are called the city of brotherly love. You guys are fucking assholes. That's all I gotta say. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't fit your guys' motto, and you guys should not use that ever again.
Yeah.
I'm also a Cowboys fan, so fuck the Eagles.
Well, also,
Whatever,
like,
yeah,
it's just so many things. Like I saw like a video, I want to say it was last World Series playoff or the one before that, and there was like a 10-year-old kid, younger than that, he's might be 6, just flipping off this like opposing team fan. Like they're sitting next to each other like this. He's like this, laughing in his face, and that dude's just staring at the kid like, somebody get their kid. What is going on?
like I'd rather hang out with the Raider fans than any Philadelphian.
Yeah.
All right. So
That's saying
Even
something.
even like Philly fans that live in like Nebraska are still like super dick righty about all Philly sports. I'm like, bro, come on.
I like how you said teams, and we just give you a whole city.
well, it's fine. That's fine. Any particular players. So like I always rooted against Charles Barkley. I hated Charles Barkley.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love him as a commentator.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that fucker never won a
Oh,
championship.
these are sick, by the way.
Oh, you like those?
Yeah.
There's Mr. Collection glassware
I mean,
available
like,
on his store.
oh,
I'll
yeah.
tell you the story about those later. It's not.
But like I always rooted against Tom Brady for a long time.
Well, that's right. And see, and he's not a hateable guy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
It's just like, yeah, it's just being like I don't really watch football, but being a Broncos fan,
right? You got to hate Tom
hey,
Brady.
you have to hate the Patriots in general because
Right.
it's like they keep whooping our ass.
Right,
Like
right.
let's pick it up. Yeah.
If we're going players, LeBron James.
Yeah,
is by
LeBron
far-
James, yeah.
we
Like-
talked about LeBron James. Yeah, he's pretty hateable.
Phenomenal player, but I feel like because he grew up on this, like, you're the greatest player of all time, and like, yeah, he's proved it here and there. Don't get me wrong, and he is a phenomenal basketball player. It just gets to his head so much, and I just don't like the arrogance of his success.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe was never satisfied. MJ was obsessed with winning. LeBron James just felt like it was like just meant for him.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, dude, like you're really annoying. Like he like considered retiring and like everyone lost their shit. And
Right,
then
well,
he like
and you
has
know
to
what
this
sucks?
Yeah,
whole
he's
fucking
considered
announcement.
retiring after they got swept in
And
the.
what sucks?
Let's
that
go
took-
Nuggets.
That
In the
took
conference
heat
game, yeah.
off the Nuggets. That took
Yeah.
that took the glory that the Nuggets should have got for sweeping them,
Yeah.
and it made him in the headlines and the Nuggets the second line. And
Yeah.
Like I love the fact that Kareem is so pissed that he like lost his record for that.
yeah.
I don't know. LeBron, whatever. He's stupid.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay,
And
well,
I don't know. It's also he's just been playing the sport so long. Of course, he's gonna break like the all-time records.
right,
He's
right.
like our politicians who haven't just should retire because they're like 80 years old. It's like,
You know
dude,
what? Those guys can't.
you
And
need to
I said this
retire.
the other day, and it sounded like a joke, but it's true. Feinstein and McConnell couldn't work at Walmart. They'd have been let go from Walmart already, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they are not physically fit to do a job at a as a greeter at Walmart. I'm not shitting on what Walmart as a job, but I'm saying as the greeters at Walmart,
They don't
typically elderly
qualify,
people,
yeah.
these people would not be fit to do that, and yet they're making.
Major decision.
Major
national
decisions.
decisions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
You know?
wild to me, man. Like I think that's something we need to learn as people is like just know when to call it.
Well, and I
Yeah.
just
LeBron, god damn it.
I mean, McConnell's a hateable person, but you would hope that his family. I would hope that my family would be like, "Hey, Mitch, let's just go back to the farm."
Yeah,
I mean, let's go. Just
The way you said that just reminded me of like when you had to go like put your dog down.
That's
You're like,
exactly what I
just
meant.
look-
Chris. That's exactly what I meant.
Just look
take
at the
him out to
flowers.
the shed.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
take him
Look
out
at
to
the
shed. Yep.
flowers.
Yeah, look at the flowers.
Yep.
Good
Look at
old,
the
good old
flowers.
glitch McConnell.
Yeah.
so
So
mean.
yeah. So
Fuck them.
that's all right. I also I never really liked Stockton or Malone, and that's gonna hurt Ryan Roth's feelings because he grew up a huge
Well,
Jazz fan.
Didn't
Yeah.
Karl Malone like impregnate a 14-year-old kid, like during like his NBA
Oh,
career?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be something you have to Google. Producer, Google that.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. It's one of those things where like I don't hate a lot of players, so to speak. I think I hate the fan bases that support those players. Like
Yeah.
I hate Golden State fans. They're the fucking worst.
Mm.
Wow.
I hate
Because
really.
they're all 13 years old and they all want to shoot 3-pointers.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like LA teams that much either.
Yeah, fuck LA. Just
Yeah, like
LA.
Lakers fans. I guess Clippers fans. are
but
fine,
I grew up Showtime Lakers. I mean, that was
Okay.
my and I was a Laker fan because Showtime Lakers.
Yeah,
Magic
that's
Johnson,
fair.
AC Green.
Well, I mean, like when I was growing up, it was Chicago Bulls. Everyone
Well,
liked
right,
the Bulls
yeah.
because they were on their 6th championship or whatever it was.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But the Bulls are, yeah, and that's the thing is like Showtime was super sick. Like just like looking back at it, there's like the HBO series.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah,
seen it?
yeah.
It ended terribly. I'm so pissed off about it.
Well,
But
they're doing it. It's back.
yeah, no, season
Yeah,
two.
yeah,
Season two
yeah.
came back. It's terrible. It's
Okay,
a terrible,
okay.
terrible watch. But yeah, it was really cool to see like how the idea of
Well,
like Larry
spoilers,
Bird-
it already happened. So I mean,
Right, yeah.
No, but yeah, but they like just watch and tell me your opinion about it. But they pretty much said like like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson saved the NBA, and I think the same thing with the Bulls happened. The same thing with the Lakers and Golden State, and hopefully the Nuggets this decade would be nice. But
we'll see.
I don't know. It's hard. Like I said, it's hard to hate teams. It's easier to hate the city.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although even though like kind of everyone hates CSU right now, which is hilarious.
No, everyone hates CU.
No, well yeah, but every CU fan hates CSU.
Yeah,
right
So
now.
it's we're 24 point under CU is a 24 point.
Oh, yeah,
underdog
against
this
Oregon?
weekend against Oregon.
Yeah,
Are we gonna cover?
probably. I mean, if they played like they did against CSU, then probably not.
I think I would take CU in the points if I were betting this weekend. I
Yeah.
think I'd take CU in the points.
So the really problem is they're all still new teammates, so they
Mhm,
can't
mhm.
sync correctly
Yeah.
fast enough. They need to go from the first snap and not like, okay, it's halfway through the 4th quarter, now we're getting it going.
Mhm.
Because when their offense is going, they covered 98 yards in 90 seconds. And
Right.
it was just like, okay, let's go. Yeah.
I'm still gonna say CU's gonna win. They haven't shown me a reason why they wouldn't.
Yeah, they're just inconsistent. That's the only reason I would
Well,
say.
The only
Uh,
consistent they have though is that they're 3-0.
Well,
Yeah.
and Travis Hunter's out for several games.
Yeah, I
mean,
heard he got a lacerated liver.
Yeah. On that cheap shot.
Yeah.
That oh well. But
They also, I also love that CSU is now Cheap Shot University. I'm like,
Oh, that's
snap.
oh,
brilliant.
I have no opinion on
Yeah,
that. but
yeah.
Cheers.
That's
that.
okay. Again, most people don't know what the fuck we're probably talking about because they're not from here.
Yeah. No,
Shout out to
yeah.
Germany, by the
So,
way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where would you say your furthest like fan base is at?
You can go to Facebook and see your analytics of where your fans are, and I've got probably I don't know a couple dozen people that follow me on Facebook in the UK.
Solid.
So
Oh, they're gonna hate me.
they have Mexicans in the UK.
No,
too.
no, but I'm wearing
I
a
know,
Manchester
I know,
United
I know.
jersey, and
I
everyone hates them.
and then I think there's probably several in South America. There's several, there are a handful or so of magicians.
So
in South
yeah,
America.
we have one listener for our podcast in Germany, and we have no idea who it is.
Yeah, that's
but it's
awesome.
like consistently like every week
So
they
that's
listen
awesome.
listen to one episode.
So,
I'm like, all right.
my friend Prater, who you guys have met, Paul Prater, he's coming out here on Friday. We're going to see Sleep Token on Monday night. Have you heard of the band Sleep Token?
Uh-uh.
Oh, they're
Good band name.
well. They launched a 22 city tour several months ago. Sold out every ticket for all 22 dates in under 30 minutes.
Wow, that's awesome.
And it was supposed to be at the Fillmore in Denver.
Uh-huh.
okay.
Is it
And
too small?
It's too small, so
That's
they moved it to the
Mission?
Mission.
Yep.
Yeah,
Dude, that's sick.
yeah. So we're gonna see them. Well, Paul's got a band called Direwolf, and actually, I'm wearing the shirt today. And
Oh, nice. I was gonna say that shirt's sick, but
I printed it. I screen printed it.
Oh,
And
nice.
that-
Oh,
and
nice.
So it's the only one that has multiple colors because we were running out of ink.
yeah.
He's all fucking messed up.
Yeah. And so tonight is actually Direwolf's first live performance.
Awesome.
Yeah, and they've been working on this quite a bit. Well, he's got tens of thousands of followers on Spotify, and they're all over Europe. He got on Direwolf got put on some sort of like sponsored playlist
hmm
that for doom metal or something. It was sponsored.
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
And so that they
Yeah, like the metal scene is crazy big in Europe. Like the metal band that I was in, I finished helping them record their EP and then I just didn't have time to do it. But they like blew up in somewhere, I want to say Germany or something. But yeah, they have like all of their listens come from Germany. I'm just
Yeah.
like, that's crazy. Good
Yeah.
good for you guys.
yeah. So shout out to my friend Paul for. I hope they do well tonight. I talked to him a little bit this morning. He'll be here on Friday, so maybe we'll see you guys out this weekend.
Nice, man.
Yeah, and then we're driving back to Little Rock on Tuesday.
How long
Oh,
is that
nice.
drive?
14 hours.
That's not bad.
You know, it's a lot easier when you got somebody sitting next to you.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
last time I drove back, I left at 7:30 at night and drove overnight by myself.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
gonna
fun to
get
give yourself
back
your
to-
own hand job.
I'm gonna get back to where I'm flying. I'm over this driving business, but I got to take stuff because we've got, as we'll talk about on Sunday when Paul and Amy join me for the show. We've got a lot of ghost tours and shows and stuff in October. I was telling somebody last night, telling Tommy, the last several Octobers I've begged for work here. I've called bars, I've called restaurants, I've called places and said, "Hey, you want a Halloween show? You don't want a Halloween show?" Nobody'd ever call me back. And my slowest week in Arkansas, I have 2 things that week. That's the slowest week.
Nice.
The busiest week, I have 5 things.
Yeah.
And it's just, and it's just, We've talked about this.
I wonder how
Yeah.
much of that is just has to do with Colorado, for one, being still like a very young nation in the sense of, or nation state, like in the sense of just like not really having, it has its own culture, but I don't think a lot of people can identify what that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
But also, there's so many new transplants that are happening here that I think it's just hard. That it's like a reconstruction of like what like Colorado culture is. So
You know, and
feel like
I mean,
that's a good
not to toot my own horn, but we
Toot it.
sold out 6 of 8 shows at the Stanley. You know, I've sold out every show I've done at the Moxie. I sold out the show at the Atlas. And I'm begging for Halloween.
do you feel like there's a lot of just people that are I mean, in the times that we are of like, I don't want to say like sensitiveness, but more so just the sake of like pleasing everybody, that think that people just kind of look at what you do and kind of be like, oh, I don't know, that seems kind of
I don't know. I also think it's Greeley, and it's hard to pin down.
Yeah, that's
you know,
very true.
I mean, it's hard to pin down. You know, we've the Civic Center announced their big. There's nothing that interests me at all.
yeah, and like, and not to really talk trash on this, 'cause it's gonna come off that way. Because I mean, I'm kind of talking trash, but like the amount of people that went to see Martina McBride at the UCCC was absolutely insane.
there was a lot.
And I'm like, okay, we're all you guys like
No idea what
trying
it
to
is.
support any other like none of these people were at like the block party
Yeah.
doing like all the local musicians kind of thing. Like, but you'll pay $80 to go see Martina McBride at the UCCC.
Right. What's the
Interesting.
first thing to sell out at the Stampede? What is the first thing that every year sells out? The first thing to sell out?
Oh, I have no idea.
The Demolition Derby.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is always the demolition derby.
Yeah, it's kind of bullshit because it's one of those things where people are like, oh, there's nothing doing Greeley. I'm like, no, it's just
Well, also
you know,
the
thank
demo
buddy for that
derby is like
shit.
a qualifier for national
Oh, yeah.
competition. I
Yeah,
think.
well, I wasn't up on my
Yeah.
Demolition Derby.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Fucking
I'm
nerd.
just saying. It's like it's actually like a.
He's been trying for 30
high-ranked-
years.
It's like a high ranked upper demolition derby.
Oh
apparently.
shit!
Yeah.
I gotta get knowledgeable about Demolition
Yeah.
Derby.
Apparently, I
Wait,
don't know. That's
so if
what I
you're,
was
doing
told.
if you're doing a demolition derby, you have to like buy a new car every time, I'm assuming, right?
No, you just fix it. That's why they're all junked.
So
Dude.
it's not demolition.
yeah. Well, you
It's not
demolish
demolished.
it by.
I'm excited for 50 years. What's all electric cars, and they blow up.
Yeah, it just starts like sparks shooting everywhere. That'd be great.
It's all
Yeah, it's just completely quiet. Just-
it'll be to the point where like the collision thing like stops them.
yeah. Oh yeah, the collision detection goes beep 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 and just stops. Terrible.
As long as it's a qualifier, it'll sell out in Greeley.
yeah, right.
yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I get that too. It's hard, and that's the thing. That's the one thing that we're trying to figure out is how to convince people to get out and do that shit. Right? Like I read this post the other day. I think it was Kurt Goble that posted it. He's like, you can spend $300 and go watch a concert at Red Rocks and like spend so much money, or you can just go like downtown and listen to someone that's actually trying to make a living off of it. That's actually trying to be like more vulnerable, probably than someone who's doing it like at Red Rocks. You know what I mean? Supporting local arts is important, and you guys should definitely do it. But I also understand that if Martina McBride comes, you want to see that, cool. But also, what the fuck does she sing, and how relevant
I'm
is
pretty
she
sure
now?
she's an older country.
Yeah,
actor,
yeah, and I get
but-
that, but it's just also kind of like you have a lot of people that are trying to do some cool shit, and then you like don't go to these things, and then therefore you discourage them from doing cool shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. That's absolutely right. When the Moxie books a band that is hot and nobody shows up, they're going to quit spending that money on bands that are that are
Yep,
expensive.
exactly.
And they're going to have more local hip hop and this stuff, which does a great draw, but it's not.
Yeah, the Greeley music scene just turned into like hip hop and like metal, and that's the only shows that sell in Greeley anymore.
How much do you think of this has to do with just like the pandemic and just people kind of catering to like what they like and not getting outside of that box?
Oh, I think a lot.
Yeah,
I think-
probably a
I think
lot.
Because I think it is one of those things where it's like, I don't want to take the time to invest in learning something new, which you should.
Yeah, but I guess the pandemic made me do the opposite, so I don't know.
And
Now
maybe-
I'm-
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'm going to see Sleep Token on Monday, and then I'm going to see I think Alice Cooper is playing in
fuck yeah.
Little Rock on the 14th of October.
Nice.
And then in November, I'm going to see Exodus.
Oh, okay.
And, Gary Holt, who was the guitar player for Slayer for several years after Jeff Hanneman died, he's the lead guitar player and songwriter for Exodus. So I'm going to see them. And the metal scene in Little Rock is pretty fun. I mean, I'll have in a couple weeks. I'll have Brandon Ringo on from Mammoth Caravan, so you'll see some promotion on that and some videos of his. Yeah, so I've had a lot of fun kind of learning about new music down in Little Rock as well. So,
Solid.
all right, so here's a music question. You have 4. You get to put together your own music festival. Any bands?
Okay.
4 in order. Who opens and who closes?
Damn it.
Because you went and saw Ed Sheeran, right? G. A couple
Yeah.
weeks ago. How was that?
Ed Sheeran's phenomenal. Like as much as like he is poppy, he's a very talented musician.
Did you ever see the movie? Is it Yesterday?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
He is hilarious in that movie.
Yeah, yeah.
He is very funny, and I was not much of a fan until I saw that movie, and I thought, okay, I think I kind
Dude,
of like
no,
this guy.
he's a musician, and I think like this thing you got to separate with artists sometimes is that you have people who like
Yeah,
impersonate.
you have
music,
artists and you have
yeah.
musicians. Yeah.
and well, yeah, you have performers and you have artists.
Yeah.
I guess it's I don't know. Either way,
Yeah, we-
Ed
yeah,
Sheeran's fucking phenomenal. Like that dude did like 80% of the show by himself.
Yeah.
And like it's actually cool. I don't know if I told you about that. He has like his stages. It's a circular stage. On the outside, there's like one thing that rotates the entire time, and then in the middle, he has like a mic. So he has two mics on both platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll start a loop here and then like stop it on this one. So both of his loop pedals are connected.
That's fun.
It's fucking insane. It's
Did you
really
see the
cool.
video from Detroit where Eminem joined him?
Yeah, that was sick.
awesome. That was
Oh yeah, because
awesome.
he started playing.
Lose Yourself.
Lose yourself. Because
Yeah.
he's like dun dun
Yeah,
dun
yeah.
dun,
They
and
snuck him in a
everyone's like,
box.
"Oh wow, cool!" And then all of a sudden Eminem
Yeah,
comes out, and everyone
yeah.
just loses their mind.
Yeah. All right. So think about the.
You go first, and that way we can get some time to think about it.
Well, I didn't really have an answer thought of.
Well,
but
I mean,
think would
I
probably
can do.
have-
I know for a fact that I would have Primus closing,
Okay.
and then
Are you gonna
opening.
go see Primus is coming with
uh,
Perfect Circle and Pucifer?
yeah.
Yeah.
I want to, but
Tickets are really expensive. I saw those ticket
Yeah.
prices.
I was trying to go see Les Claypool's or Colonel Claypool's Flying Frog Brigade or Fearless Frog Brigade, whatever. He has two different bands
Yeah.
that are same name, but those tickets were like $200. I'm
Yeah,
like, what
yeah.
the hell, man? Since when are people fans of Les Claypool? So before the pandemic, I bought Primus tickets for $60 at Mission Ballroom. And now I can't even get
Yeah.
close to that
Yeah.
price. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
I think
All
I
right,
can
so
admit
as
this-
I do, I distracted you.
Yeah.
Primus-
Yeah.
Wait,
So
that
Primus
was
closing.
that was the concert where we the whole COVID card, right?
Yep. It was great.
Okay, cool. We'll just leave it at
Um,
that.
Yeah, Primus closing. I'd probably have Victor Wooten open. Oh man, Tenacious D, Red Hot
Oh,
Chili
God
Peppers.
damn it! Fuck, I just changed everything.
That's probably so. Victor Wooten open, Tenacious D, Chili Peppers, and then Primus closing the show.
This is all hypothetical right
Yeah.
now. Like it's like we can actually make this project happen now, right?
Right.
I mean,
right,
if we had hundreds of millions of dollars,
No,
we
I'm
could
just
make it
saying
happen.
like they don't have to be alive. Like they can be dead. Or,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So mine would be I would have Stevie Wonder headline,
Okay.
but it would be like Stevie Wonder like 30 years ago.
Yeah, 1985.
Yeah, yeah.
Although even if it was now, I think it'd be
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Direct support would probably be. It's a hard one.
Anybody out there wants to put theirs in the comments?
Yeah,
put your,
please do.
Put your dream.
I'll put
your
Bruno Mars
dream.
as a direct support.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
And then after that, oh no, never mind. I'll put Prince as direct support.
Oh, there
Oh,
you go.
that's good.
Then Bruno Mars, and then Bill Withers,
Yeah. Bill
and then
Withers.
have The Weeknd open up.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
The Weeknd's so much fun. I would love to see him live.
Yeah, that lineup would be fun too.
It's just really
Yeah.
just it's a lot of black people. It's great. And Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Just right there
He's,
somewhere in there.
what is Puerto Rican?
He's something. He's a little
Yeah.
bit of everything.
Yeah, that's fair.
Born in Hawaii, but Puerto Rican, and I don't know. He's probably black.
Sure.
Sings like it. It's amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, mine's very bass centric. If you didn't notice.
No,
Yeah,
mine's just
yeah.
super like soully and just
Except for Tenacious D, I guess.
Well, I think I would have. I'm going to change the rules on you a little bit. So if you want to
Now he changed
Yeah,
it.
well, I just thought about this.
Dick.
If you want to go back, my metal festival would probably be Slayer, Maiden, Ghost, and Danzig.
Okay.
Old Danzig, Danzig 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My hip hop festival would probably be
If you want to do that, goddamn.
it'd be probably Tribe Called Quest would be the headliner.
Mm.
I'll give you that.
Probably Biggie.
Biggie would be sick. I probably put
Yeah.
Biggie as a headliner.
Yeah. Maybe Tyler the Creator, as the first opener because he jumps around a bunch. Have you ever seen him?
I find him obnoxious.
Oh, he's obnoxious, but he jumps the entire time, and he gets. I saw him open for 2 chains, 3 chains, 4 chains, 2
2
chains.
chains.
I saw him open for 2.
Well, he might be
chains.
30 now, so it might be 3 chains.
Yeah, at Riot Fest,
Oh, nice.
and then maybe
I haven't been to Riot Fest in forever.
maybe the Beastie Boys.
You weren't even there.
I
Something-
never
something in
saw.
there.
I never saw the Beastie Boys. I missed out on that.
Yeah, I was supposed to see. Well, I don't know if you were going to come with me, but at Riot Fest when it was in Denver in 2015, when it was,
I think so.
I was going to see Motorhead for the first time ever.
Oh,
No, they
snap.
canceled.
But then Lemmy canceled and then died like 3 weeks later.
That's
Just
right.
like no.
I saw Ray Charles at the Civic Center downtown 10 days before he died.
That's sick. dude.
Damn.
And Ray Charles he came out, he had somebody help him out to the piano, sat him down. He played 8 songs, didn't say a word, sang, but didn't say a word to the audience, and then sat back and put his hand up. Somebody got him and walked him off. And less
That
than
was
2
it?
weeks later,
Yeah.
That's better than nothing, man.
yeah, no,
That's
I
amazing.
yeah.
Oh man, hip hop, that'd be a hard
Yeah,
one.
I don't really like hip hop that much, so I can't really.
I'll say Kendrick Lamar will headline.
Have you watched the documentary series on Netflix called Hip Hop Evolution?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a good
It's
one.
I've seen
pretty
some.
rad. It's
yeah.
pretty rad.
Because I only watched like the first episode, I think,
Yeah, cool Herc.
and it was talking about like the inception of it and how the main draw was the DJs, and then
Mhm,
the
mhm.
MC just was a byproduct kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Because it was for breakdancing or something. I think I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, it was hip hop was what punk was to rock. Hip hop was to disco.
Yeah,
It was kind of the revolution. The kind of we're tired of your corporate kind of level shit. We're gonna make it a different, And I thought that was kind of an interesting take on the beginnings of hip hop. That it was anti disco and anti,
yeah, that's fair.
to where kind of like punk. The Ramones and Dead Kennedys and those kind of bands were anti Leonard Skinner and they were tired of rock. So
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah,
I often wonder how much of that also has to do with just them being like, man, like we invented disco and y'all just like ruined it. So then
Well,
we're gonna do our
right.
own thing, and then y'all,
yeah, because
then Blondie
disco,
ruined it.
disco is like a bastard child of funk, and it
Well,
was
right.
so disappointing.
right.
Like, don't get me wrong, there's some disco songs that are bangers, and I'm like, all right.
But I will say that disco is definitely the product of cocaine.
Oh,
You know
100%.
how fast paced that song.
Which came first?
Yeah, right.
The disco, or the cocaine.
Yeah, it's the
Definitely
chicken.
the cocaine.
Yeah, chicken and the egg scenario.
Right, right.
But yeah. But I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I still like disco because it like invented a new style of bass playing that's still really interesting and fun.
What would you say your favorite disco track is?
I don't really have one. Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna go with Dancing Queen, dude. That's so hard.
Kiss, The Elder. There's a few disco-esque songs on Kiss, The Elder.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
the album that is their kind of
Yeah,
album.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody out there that's listening or watches this later, please comment your dream lineups
Yeah.
or
Every time someone talks about Kiss, I just have that movie.
Phantom of the Park.
No, it's Role Models, where he has like a Kiss pinball machine, or he's playing pinball, and he's like, "See, Ronnie, the gun is his dick," because he's talking about Love Gun.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that movie.
It's pretty funny.
Aeromotive is pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up. All right, so real quick, I have a note here that I wanted to ask you guys about when we were talking about podcasts. I saw a commercial today, and I guess this isn't new. It's been out for 2 or 3 years. There's a podcast called Apology Line.
Okay,
Have you heard of this?
I have not.
It started as a project in New York for some research thing where it's a free line and people call in and apologize for things completely anonymously.
Okay.
And they
I
make
like that concept.
They make a recording. They record it and they air just people's apologies. Some of them are 30 seconds and some of them are 20 minutes. And in the trailer that I saw for, I'm going to go and listen to it. Somebody apologized for murder.
Wow.
And it's because it's all anonymous, and
Yeah.
it says not associated with any police or law enforcement, and it's just all anonymous. There's some that apologize for cheating on their spouse or for beating somebody up or stealing. One guy said he embezzled $400,000 from his company, and I think that's probably a pretty shitty company if you miss.
Yeah, I was like, if you-
400 grand,
Or a really good company where you can't
Right.
make so much money you
that
don't even
just-
notice.
right. So I just want to. What are some of the podcasts you guys like, or what are some of the ideas for podcasts?
Oh,
I was gonna take a whole different
yeah.
route.
So what do you want to
What do you
apologize
want
for?
to apologize? This is anonymous, by the
Well,
way.
okay, yeah, it's anonymous. I'll cover up your face like this.
I just want to apologize. Just,
Oh, you know what? I wonder if now that we got this board fixed, there's a. this up here.
What do you want to apologize for, Chris?
oh, there
Oh,
it
there
is.
it
I
is.
hear it.
That's what we do by night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think
that's
I
pretty,
switched for every single one of them.
So there's
that's pretty funny.
And some echo. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ. Yeah. Favorite podcast. Whoa,
That's pretty.
that
Cool.
scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
That sounded like
Oh, did you curse, dude?
here's what you sound when you're smoking.
here's
Whatever.
the small robot. That doesn't sound like a small
That
robot. That
doesn't-
sounds like me.
It sounds
It's
like
just it's
you.
the verbatim voice.
Yeah. You're like, wait, am I a small robot? And you just go through it. There it is.
Small robot. And then I think we got this one. Hello, megaphone.
Oh yeah, okay.
or Tool, whichever one you want.
Yeah.
It's either Megaphone or Maynard from Tool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done playing. Thanks, guys. You guys started the shit by telling me about all this cool equipment.
Yeah,
that's fucking dope.
So, all right. So, what are some ideas? So, if somebody came to you and said, "I want you to hire you guys to start a podcast," I want to be. What are some of the ideas you would kick out for a?
Well,
starting a
I
podcast?
just started watching this podcast called Are You Garbage? And it's these two New York comedians, and they have like other big comedians come on, and they kind of get their backstory, kind of why they became a comedian. Most of them are super tragic and kind of fucked up. But then they go through like this list of questions, and then they on that scale they decide if you're class or trash. And it's pretty funny. Like some of the questions they ask are just the most ridiculous ones. And it's like, have you ever stolen anything from a hotel? And someone's like, no. Like, why not?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, what? So not stealing makes you trash? I'm confused now.
Right.
But yeah,
I
it's
mean, they
pretty funny.
replace all that shit, so yeah, you should just steal it.
Well, then they charge you on your card. So like you buy it, you don't really steal it.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, then one of the comedians like, I didn't steal, like, I haven't taken a towel or bathrobe. I did take a pillow once because I lost my plane pillow. And they're like, wait, you just brought a whole ass pillow on the plane. He's like, yeah. And
My
he's
mom
like,
does that all the
like,
time.
what?
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's pretty funny. So I guess it'd be a concept of like,
Am I the asshole?
yeah, kind of like, am I the asshole kind of thing? Yeah.
So I recently been introduced to Reddit,
Oh God.
and did you know there's other things on Reddit other than porn?
Really?
Wait, there's porn on Reddit?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Wow.
But that "Am I asshole" is all. I mean, that's the I think that's Reddit. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
it?
yeah.
I mean, Reddit's just like a podcast in itself.
Well, right.
Yep.
All right, G. What are some of your podcast? What are some you listen to, or some you would do?
So there's this podcast called Best of Five.
Yeah, I've heard about it. I've heard
It's
about
these
it.
fucking douchers who just talk for no reason.
Yeah.
Episode 666, I think, was the best one.
Yeah.
666 420. You forgot that one. Yeah, that's a good one. That was actually probably one of my favorite ones. It was just a clusterfuck between us three.
Skip
and
was there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that was.
Because we were at Tight Knit and you guys were there.
Yeah, because we're gonna record with Paul, and then we just text Skip and be like,
Oh,
yo,
that's
yeah.
right. That's right.
the one
right.
where we started at like 9:00 at night, and I had a flight to Atlanta that went out at like
Oh,
5:30
yeah.
or 6
Yeah.
that morning.
How did that end, by the way?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a good question. Right now, I'm working on a podcast that's going to be talking about transportation, like public transportation. I'm just like producing it. I'm not
Yeah,
really doing
okay.
any of it, but so that's like one that we're working on. Would love to start a Nuggets podcast, just because I don't think there's any good ones out there.
I think you and Skip could do that.
Yeah, me, Skip, and Amar could pull it off
Yeah,
really
yeah.
well, but that means we'd have to like record every other day, and I doubt that's going to be a thing. But
Or you just have like a weekly recap.
yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be kind of nice.
Let's start a podcast called Wet Ones, and it's just tasting water.
Different waters.
Yeah.
That's probably the best.
It's
in it,
just
yeah.
like in hot ones order, but it's like, all right, this is lowest pH to highest pH or something stupid.
Sounds boring as shit.
So I've
Yeah,
been
I
listening
know.
to this podcast called the Clue Movie Podcast, and it's the guy that did the documentary about the Clue movie. You know, with Tim,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Tim Curry. And what they do is it's 97 episodes.
And they do a minute each.
They do a minute each.
Okay. Yeah, I think
they
I've watched
watch
it.
a minute of the movie and then they talk about it. And they don't just talk about the movie. They tell this, but it's actually pretty fun. Each episode's about 25 to 30 minutes,
Yeah.
which is a lot of time dedicated to
A minute.
a pretty silly movie.
Yeah.
You know, some of the other ones, Lore is my favorite. Lore with Aaron Mahnke.
Okay.
It's my favorite podcast of all time. It's kind of there's been several mystery collection routines that have come from ideas on lore. It's just like spooky and eerie stories throughout history that kind of have a twist on it. Another one that I was introduced to was called Ologies. And
Okay.
it's this woman, I can't remember her name. My kiddo listens to it. And she has experts on in something.
Mm.
Like she has like a somebody that is an ecologist or somebody that studies bugs or studies bats or studies squirrels or volcanoes and just has somebody who's an expert in their field.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of fun because every week it's a different,
Yeah,
some,
yeah.
of them
That's
are,
cool.
some of them are, talking about sand, but some of them are talking about like
Nice callback.
doomsday prophecies and,
Yeah, yeah.
and that kind of stuff. And the one on crows was amazing about this guy that had studied crows and how smart they are and how you can train crows to
Yeah.
bring you money.
Yeah.
And,
Huh. Well, so steal. You can train
yeah.
crows to steal. Let's just call it what it is.
That's what that's
No,
actually, yeah.
the crow stealing. You're not.
Oh, but speaking of doomsday, there's this thing going around on Reddit, going back to that, that the rapture is happening this month
Oh,
on the
snap.
on the 29th at midnight or something. And they're
Okay.
like, "What time zone?"
Yeah, for real. I was about to say that. I was like, wait,
Yeah. So I was like, "All right, I guess the rapture's happening in a few days."
you
so.
think that
Well-
when Jesus comes by, it's like, why did this get so much bigger? It was just Jerusalem and
Yeah, yeah.
Israel.
What
That's sort of Australia. What the fuck is Australia?
what are these dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Well, my favorite Bill Hicks, Bill Hicks is my hero. Yeah, we've talked about
Yeah.
Bill Hicks, and he the night he was kicked, that they didn't air him on Letterman, that caused a big controversy. His joke was, "Don't you think Jesus is going to be pissed when he comes back and sees everybody wearing crosses?"
Louis C.K. actually just had a bit about that
that's
in his
good.
recent stand up.
Well, it's funny is
It's like you're at the dinner table, you see a morbid guy just dying.
Tim Leary, no, Dennis Leary,
Oh, Dennis Leary.
who stole Bill Hicks' act.
Yeah, yeah,
Pretty much, he said the same joke about 10, 15 years later.
yeah.
It's like, fucker. It's a Bill
Yeah,
Hicks
speaking
story.
of Dennis Leary, I forgot he was in Demolition Man, and he was by far the worst part.
Yeah.
He was like the Rat King, like underground leader, and like he had like 4 lines. And I'm like, why did they put him in this movie?
I don't know.
He's such a bad
I've
actor.
never seen the movie.
To be
Yeah,
fair,
you've never seen
Dude,
Demolition
what?
Man?
Bro, what are
With
you doing?
yeah, Sylvester Stallone and
Wesley
Blade.
Snipes.
Yeah, I can't remember anyone's names right now.
Sandra Bullock's in that one too.
Oh, Sandra Bullock, Rob Schneider.
I hate Sandra Bullock.
That-
I think she's one of the worst actresses in the
She's
entire.
Really?
not bad
I
at
just
that
watched
one.
Miss Congeniality, and that movie is so funny.
Love Potion number 9 ruined me.
Oh,
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's fair.
So have you seen any
Oh,
good
man.
movies of late?
Oppenheimer is probably the last movie I saw. That was pretty good.
I like Oppie.
Yeah.
My kiddo and I went and saw A Haunting in Venice this past weekend.
Oh, okay.
If you're an Agatha Christie fan, it's good.
Yeah.
It's not amazing. It doesn't. It's. I've read most Agatha Christie books. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a fun watch.
Um,
I think it's the best of the 3.
yeah.
The Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile, and The Haunting in Venice.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
wondering. So
I was
that's
gonna
the
say
whole
I
series.
saw Murder and Death on the Nile.
Because
Yeah.
the detective's the same person,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's the whole.
Hercule
Yeah,
Poirot,
that's the
yeah.
whole
That's
concept.
That was kind of Agatha Christie's
Gotcha.
character.
Yeah. It's like the Sherlock Holmes
Mhm.
of her books.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good actor too.
Yeah.
Kenneth Branagh that plays Kenneth Branagh,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's also the producer of the movies. So
Nice.
so he plays Hercule
Yeah.
Poirot. I love Agatha Christie, and it's
Well, yeah, like the whole Glass Onion series is kind of like an homage to Agatha Christie.
yeah, absolutely. So
Which all those are Knives Out, not Glass Onion. Knives Out.
well, Glass
series.
Onion's the second
Yeah,
one.
this
Yeah,
Glass
yeah.
Onion's the second one.
I thought
But-
they were great. I thought
Yeah.
that there was a bunch of, for nerds like me that read every mystery and that know the history of Hitchcock and Agatha Christie and Sherlock Holmes. There were so many little like inside jokes in
Mhm.
Glass Onion for nerds that have read these books. I thought
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were really great.
That's cool. Yeah. I'm not really much of a reader, so I definitely
Yeah,
didn't pick
yeah,
up on any
yeah,
of that.
yeah,
but
yeah.
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 Yeah. I heard that new scary movie that just came out. Something Arms, something. Hold on, I have to Google it. See, I
Okay.
can't remember names at all.
You know everything.
I know, right?
Well, the new Exorcist, the reboot of The Exorcist comes out this next month.
Yeah,
And you know who wrote it? Danny McBride.
I believe that.
Really?
Yeah, he wrote the last 2 Halloweens as well.
That's wild.
So yeah, Kenny
you-
Powers is writing horror.
Have you seen what's his Righteous Gemstones?
Oh, dude, the Gemstones that's one of the funniest shows. You know what?
It's
I
Don't-
called
ruin
Talk
it.
to Me.
okay.
It's called
Don't
Talk
ruin
to
it.
Me.
I'm on season
But
3
yeah,
right now.
apparently that's like one of the greatest horror movies. It's like redefining the genre of
Okay.
horror.
Well, I saw you can
Good
buy
horror
it
movies.
for like $18. You can buy it on Amazon. So maybe I'll watch it tonight. So I don't have to go to the theater.
Yeah. But it was made by a bunch of YouTube guys. That's why it was
Okay.
just like, what the hell?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Gemstones. Have you watched Gemstones?
I have not.
Okay, I'm not gonna tip anything.
Bible bunkers.
I'm not
Oh,
gonna-
that's
I'm not gonna-
that's the one where they're like religious, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Danny
It's so
McBride
good.
and then the dude from
Adam
Workaholics.
Devine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's so good. I
And
love
John
it.
Goodman is. And so
Oh yeah, yeah.
I love
John
John
Goodman
Goodman.
is so good in it. He is so good. And I so not to get too serious about the Gemstones because there's no spoilers in this. Those 3 kids are the worst fucking kids in the entire world. They are the worst people.
Dude, the writing is so good on that you still feel sympathetic for them, even though they're fucking
Well,
spoiled.
there's something coming up in season 3 that you're going to see and you're going to agree. But I believe John Goodman's character, and this is such a nerd that I've thought this. I think he's a good person, and he wanted to do like right and do and these kids and the money screwed it all up. But
No, I mean yes and no. He was also very money driven. Obviously, once the wife died, I think that's when it changed everything
Yes,
for
I
sure.
agree, I agree.
But no, dude, like if Gemstones is it's so good.
if
Like
you
the
haven't
first
watched
season's really good.
The Righteous Gemstones.
Second
it's-
season was
Yeah.
kind of if, but it's still really funny. Like the whole like
do you feel like they're just kind of retelling the story of the first season?
I think so,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
also
yeah.
I mean, it's Danny McBride comedy, and it's fucking hilarious. Like he's like, there's this part where like they find like a murder, and they're trying to like get away because there's people still there, and they can't like start the Tesla, and it's it's my favorite bit out of the entire thing.
Did you watch Vice Principals?
No, I heard that's a really good one too,
It's
though.
Danny McBride, and then the sister from the Gemstones. She's in it
She's
as well.
fucking dude. She's
And so
wild.
so is Baby Billy.
Baby Bella's Bible bonkers.
Yeah.
He's one. So I will say John Goodman is one of my, I think, most underrated actors out there that like should be considered one of the like top actors. Like
Dude,
he's phenomenal.
Have
in
you seen
everything
Oh
he's done.
Brother Where Art Thou?
Yeah, he's fucking
Dude,
great.
he's like crushes that role, and he's in it for like 2 minutes.
He crushes Fred Flintstone.
Yeah, that's very true.
I haven't seen either of those.
It's okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah. But he was in.
Oh, Brother Where Art Thou, you should
Yeah,
definitely watch though.
Oh Brother Where Art
was
Thou
in
was a
one of the
retelling of
Cloverfield.
Homer's Odyssey.
Yeah, he was in Cloverfield. The second
Oh,
one. Yeah.
Cloverfield Lane.
Mhm.
Right?
10
Yeah.
Cloverfield Lane or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
haven't seen that
The
either.
one where they're in the bunker house thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't
but
seen that
he's-
one either, but yeah.
Like I don't know. He's so good. He's a really good actor. I really love John Goodman. Really
Yeah.
underrated for sure. I believe so.
He is really good in Gemstones. He's very good.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch Baskets?
I don't think so.
Do you know about
Baskets is a
Baskets?
really good show. Yeah, I've never seen it, but
It's Zach Galifianakis is a clown,
Okay.
and his mother is played by Louis Anderson.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
And Louis Anderson passed away last year, so I
Yep.
don't think they'll make it anymore. But after the first season, I think they made a really smart choice in making the show no longer Zach Galifianakis show. They made it Louis' show,
Yeah.
and Louis Anderson plays. Oh my god, you should watch it just to watch him play Basket's mom.
Do you remember the show that Louis Anderson had? It was like Louis Anderson as a kid, but he voiced himself as a kid.
Yes. It was a cartoon, right?
Yeah, it was a cartoon,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just like him, but like little, and he's same voice, so he's just still like, meh,
Yeah.
meh, meh. It's
Yeah.
great. It's
Yeah.
great. Sorry, you
Oh,
probably
yeah.
only watch Univision or some shit.
With that
Telemundo,
bumblebee,
sir.
with that bumblebee, the bumblebee show.
Didn't you dress up as one of those characters from
Yeah.
that one time?
from Tele, that's Mexican. That's not even Univision.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
All right,
back
I
in
think.
the day.
So,
Yeah.
are you are you going to the World Cup in 2 years? Have you got that figured out?
How?
Did we talk about going to Kansas? I don't remember.
We did talk
wanna
about
go,
going
but
to
I
Kansas
just-
City.
I mean, I'm just looking at the way the housing market is. I'm just like, oh, in 4 years, I'm not going to be able to afford to go fucking travel to Kansas City. I want to go. I would love to go. I'm a big soccer fan, and I think it's going to be really cool. I think this will be a good moment for U.S. to kind of get familiar with like the passion of soccer. My goal would be to go to Mexico to watch a Mexico game, go to the U.S., whether it be Kansas City or actually go to the U.S. play.
Yeah.
And I also love to go to Canada because I've never been. So
Well, the Rockies too are playing in Mexico City next year.
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, so I also thought about that, but
I'd be sick.
yeah, we'll see.
We'd be the only Rockies fans there.
Probably.
Well, yeah. Who are they going to play? Probably the Padres.
I think they're
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
they're playing. I don't
probably Houston.
Oh.
might
So
be actually.
you know what? That's one of my hated teams. I hate the Houston Astros. I
Oh
hate
yeah,
'em. I
the
hate 'em.
Trastros.
I hate them.
Yeah.
They were the first Major League Baseball game I ever saw in 1986.
Really?
1986, 87. I went to Houston to visit a friend, and his dad took us, and I watched Nolan Ryan pitch. It was
That's
my first
fun.
Major League Baseball game, and I didn't,
Astrodome too, right?
Yeah, at the Astrodome, the old
Sick.
school Astrodome, and I loved them. And then they switched to the American League. What, about 10 years ago?
Yeah,
Maybe
that
a little
sounds
bit
about
longer
right.
than that.
Yeah,
And then this whole, I just hate them. So there we go. To add that on.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Outside baseball,
I didn't really care too much about the Astros at all, and then they got caught with their whole cheating scandal
Yeah.
or whatever, and I was like, okay, I didn't really like them, but I didn't dislike them. Now I'm like, fuck them,
Well, then they won like 2 out of 3 years, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
right?
so all right. So you guys got a show
I'm
this
just
Friday,
glad that
right?
I'm just glad they beat the Dodgers. 'Cause fuck the
yeah.
Dodgers.
Next Friday, the 29th.
Okay.
Right, it's the
Tell us
29th?
where's-
Yeah.
And where's that?
So September 29th, we're going to be at Millennium Event Center downtown Greeley. So right off of 10th.
The old Don's
Street.
Hobbies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Don's Hobbies.
The old Don's Hobbies.
Yeah, we're going to be doing that show. We're going to have Naked Samurai, which is kind of like a reggae,
Funk.
ska-y, funky,
Yeah, I don't know.
kind of two-person
Okay.
band.
Okay.
Myself, which is just kind of all over the board. And then we're going to have Chris's band, Defeats the Porpoise, which is kind of like a surf punk.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're really, honestly,
Yeah,
like,
gypsy punk, I think is
I don't-
technically what we are, but
I don't give
know.
Chris a lot of recognition.
never
'cause
actually
fuck this guy.
never.
But no, I try to give my best to give him as much recognition as possible, but we don't not on camera. his band is phenomenal. Like Defeats the Porpoise is a really fun band. Have you ever seen them?
I have not.
You definitely.
yeah.
you're gonna be out of town. Huh?
But I will catch you sometime for sure.
They're just fun. They have energy. It's for a 3-piece. They're really loud and they fill the sound out really well. So if you guys can check it out, if you're in Greeley, please make sure you guys stop by Millennium Event Center. It's September 29th. Doors open at 7. Music starts at 7:30.
And most importantly, we're raising donations for the Will County Food Bank.
Nice.
Because it's coming into holiday season.
Nice.
We always try to do something from the company and Best of Five. We've donated every year since 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the Will County Food Bank.
Yeah,
Whether
so-
it's food or just straight money.
Yeah, so we'll have like a canned food drive or non-perishable drive, and then we can
Yeah.
also donate money to them as well. So,
What did you donate last year? What was the cash money you donated last year?
I think it was just,
it's like 200, 300, like 200, 250 bucks.
yeah, something
from
like that.
I'll match $250. If you guys raise $250, I'll match $250.
All right, well,
yeah.
you heard him. Let's go.
Yeah,
So-
no, and that's the thing is like we're the whole point of this is we're trying to kind of just trial and error. Again, we don't really know what our company is. It's kind of everywhere right now.
Yeah.
But the goal is to revitalize the downtown music scene and hopefully have some type of like encouragement to kind of start playing music again and invite people to come downtown and start supporting downtown instead of just going to go see Reba McEntire or something.
Yes.
Well, the Civic
Actually,
Center.
I thought see Reba though.
yeah,
The
let's see
Civic
Reba
Center
too.
it used to have some like first rate big. I mean, Penn and Teller there, Copperfield was there. Not just talk about magic, but
Yeah, I
also
mean,
saw,
Weird Al was there earlier this year, and I thought that was pretty cool.
I also saw George Carlin, Stephen Wright, Chris Rock.
All that is
um,
awesome. Yeah.
And Greeley?
in Greeley at the
Oh,
Civic
that's
Center.
dope.
And I mean, what happened?
I just think a
Yeah.
lot of it's just that there's also people that are running it just don't know like anyone new. Everyone that's coming by here is all vintage and old, and I don't want to say it that way either though. But
Cheyenne, that Lincoln in Cheyenne. Have you
Oh,
seen
yeah.
some of the acts? I mean, I went up
Yeah,
there and
yeah.
saw Ice Cube. Henry
Yeah.
Rollins is coming in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
I saw
had-
that.
They had Venom, which is a huge. If you're into metal, Venom is a huge. And there's probably not a venue for Venom in Greeley, but maybe
Yeah,
maybe
probably
the
not.
Moxie. But it
Yeah,
just
the Moxie's only like 400 people.
this wasn't. Well, this was probably a little bit bigger. Have
Yeah.
you been up to the Lincoln?
Yeah, I have.
So it was kind of fun. Roth and I went up to see Ice Cube, and they had a local duo, a hip hop duo, open for him. And I thought, oh fuck, here we go. These guys were hot. These guys were really
That's cool.
good.
That's always like the thing. It's like if you go see like a band you've been waiting to see for a long time, and then they have this random opener, it's either like, oh, okay, all right, or
Yeah.
it's like, oh my god, get off the stage.
Yeah, right.
Like when I saw Primus a few years ago, they had this opener that was just so bad, and they played for like an hour and a half, and I'm
fuck.
like, god damn it.
that's probably what people thought
So
about
here's
you
a
when you opened
question.
ZZ Top.
Here's a question for you. So, of all the shows you've seen, what is the best opener? Who went on to do something big, or the
Oh man. I saw Del the Funky Homo Sapien like years ago. But he wasn't even Del the Funky Homo Sapien yet. He was Deltron.
were they Deltron 3000?
Yeah, it was
Oh
Deltron.
yeah, yeah.
And I was
they
just
played
like-
with they
Yeah.
played with Wu-Tang last week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sick.
yeah.
And I was just like, all right, this is pretty sick. And then who else did I see? I've seen like Skillet years ago on the free stage at the Stampede
Okay.
when they were like, I don't even know, not doing anything. And then they just blew up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like this is probably like 20 years ago they were on the free stage. Yeah.
I saw on a small note, I saw Big Head Todd play at Garden Theater for free when I
Oh,
was in high
nice.
school.
Sick.
Yeah.
So then here's the one I think that'll surprise you the most. Moby Gym. And is Moby still a gym in Fort Collins? Or have they torn that down too?
I don't know. I couldn't tell
Well,
you.
Moby Gym was where the basketball played.
Yeah.
I saw the Samples and Big Head Todd.
Nice.
The opening act, Dave Matthews Band.
Really?
Fuck yeah. That's
Dave
sick.
Matthews opened for
Yeah.
the Samples and Big Head Todd.
That's awesome.
One of the biggest touring bands in the world
Yeah.
Yeah.
opened at Moby Gym for Big Head Todd.
That's crazy.
That is
Yeah.
wild.
The
Yeah.
worst opener I've ever seen, and I saw him twice. Cowboy Mouth.
Okay.
Have
I
you
don't
ever
know
heard
who
of this
yeah,
band?
no.
So the drummer is the lead singer,
Eh,
and
that's always a turnoff for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Very
It's always,
exceptional.
it's always
I'll tell you
creepy.
what. Listen to Direwolf because Direwolf, my friend Paul's band, the drummer's the lead singer.
Okay.
But he's front and center. The guitar players, he's in the front of the stage, and he was obviously going through a very bad breakup
Wow.
because every song was dedicated to this song is for you guys that have been, that dedicated your life to this woman, and she tore your heart out and she threw it on the ground. This song's for you. And then the next one, this song goes out to all the women who stick with your man, and it was like, oh my God, we
Come
fucking
on,
get it,
man,
we
come
get
on.
it, we get it.
It's like whose fault was it really?
Yeah, well, yeah. Is she in the audience? Do you want to?
Yeah.
You ever listen to
This
Sam?
goes out to Karen, you bitch.
Yeah, just you ever listen
5,
to any of the
6,
Sam,
7, 8.
Sam Kinison albums? You know Sam Kinison. The
Yeah,
comedian?
I mean, we
On the
sorry not to stop you and date you, but
I know, I
we
know.
don't listen to albums of comedians.
well,
Fuck.
what should I have said?
What's a vinyl?
We call them specials now.
Wow.
Have you seen their special?
Well, they didn't have specials back. In the
Yeah,
day.
they had albums. No,
Well,
I got you.
Sam
That's what I'm saying.
Kinison. Sam Kinison has gone for what 30 years.
That's fucking.
He has on the Have You Seen Me Lately? He gets a guy in the audience and gets his girlfriend's phone number. And they call her.
Wow,
It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. So
dang.
yeah.
But yeah, Sam Kinnison's really funny. You know who Sam Kinnison?
I know that the name. I
Yeah.
just don't need to see the face.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I stopped in Tulsa, Oklahoma at his grave to get some grave
Oh
dirt.
yeah.
And it says something. His grave site says something like, "In another time and place, he'd have been a prophet."
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, because like all those like kind of old school comedians that like Pryor, Mitch Hedberg,
Bill Cosby.
Well, Cosby, you know what? It's the Pete Rose. It's the Pete Rose syndrome.
yeah,
You know, I mean, can we take away what he did? There's a great documentary called "We Need to Talk About Bill Cosby," and it's by this guy who's probably my age, this African American guy that grew up watching the Cosby Show, saying, "Listen, he's a doctor." You know, I mean, this is what we can, you know, and idolize Bill Cosby. As
Oh, I
America's
see what you're saying.
dad,
Yeah, yeah, on the
you know?
Cosby Show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's a very good documentary. It's called "We Need to Talk About Bill Cosby." All right, so you guys both mentioned comedians. Who's your Mount Rushmore of stand-up comedy?
Like right now or ever? Because
Ever.
right now,
Ever. Mount
I'm,
Rushmore.
yeah.
Mount Rushmore.
Oh man.
Also, sorry,
Louis C.K. is definitely on there.
Before you go, Sam
Yeah.
Kinnison's a guy who did that bit. That's like, you know how you save world hunger
Move.
is have all the all the people who are hungry go where the food's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
So
its
I
delivery's really
listened
better,
to him
but-
on the road when I was driving one time, and as funny as he was when I was 15 years old,
Yeah.
he has not held up very well.
Oh yeah, most
Uh,
of them have.
You know, he would not. But you know, listen to Carlin. Carlin still is relevant
Yeah,
today.
yeah,
Bill
yeah.
Hicks is still as relevant today.
Or like Andrew Dice Clay. Like his stuff is just like, oh god.
So, I gotta tell ya,
could say that.
I've seen
Don
I've-
Rickles.
Yeah.
I've seen Dice Clay 2 or 3 times, and the last time I saw him was when that Blue Jasmine movie came out.
Okay.
That Woody Allen movie, and he is so good in that movie. And he came out and he did straight stand up.
Oh, he didn't do his
None of
character.
his Dice Man stuff.
Okay.
And nobody liked it.
Really?
People were like, Dice Man. And so he's like, I'll get to it. The second set is all Dice Man stuff. And you could just tell, you could see this, like, I don't want to say pain, but the disappointment in him that he's like, guys, I'm funny.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and this character isn't me. I'm grown, you know, I've grown and I'm funny. I thought it was brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
But-
what's that guy, Bobcat? How he like just scream yelled
Yeah.
the whole time, and
Right.
he's like, I don't actually talk like that guy.
Yeah. Or Gilbert.
yeah, yeah,
Gilbert Gottfried.
yeah. Because he doesn't have like
Yeah,
that Nathan.
He doesn't talk like this.
Yeah.
Maybe
You ever
he does.
listen to him on Stern when he would do like Dracula, Gottfried? Oh my God. Yeah, look him up. Anyway.
Go,
your
Mount Rushmore. Sorry. I
Yeah,
interrupted.
probably Louis C.K., Chappelle. Oh God, and like, see, it's like, do I go like old school because I don't really listen to them anymore? It's more like newer comedians now, like Tom Segura. I think he's absolutely hilarious,
He's really funny.
but I don't know if I'd put him on there. Like,
Yeah.
he's
Right.
probably a comedian I listen to most, but like, yeah, still like, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, you have to put Eddie up there. Or at least I would.
Yeah. Oh man, it's hard. It's hard.
I say I'll go Eddie Murphy.
It's
I'll
it's
go Dave
Louis C.K.
Chappelle.
and Chappelle for sure.
I'll go Louis C.K. as well. I'll put Robin Williams up there. Even though he was like his stand up is a lot, he knows how to be funny.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then I'll put Richard Pryor because Richard Pryor is still hilarious.
Yeah.
That's top 5.
Yeah. All right. Anybody that's out there, put your Mount Rushmore of comedy in the comments.
Yeah.
Mine are easy. I thought about this a bunch, and it would be Hicks, Bill
Oh,
Hicks,
Bill Hicks. Yeah, yeah.
George Carlin,
Mhm.
I forgot about George Carlin. Jesus Christ.
Richard Pryor, and probably Kinnison.
Yeah.
That Kinnison might rotate to Rickles or
Yeah, Rickles.
Henny Youngman or Dangerfield or one of those guys that kind of changed the way that I was lucky enough. I got to see Red Skelton perform stand-up comedy,
nice.
and I don't know if you even know who Red Skelton is.
Yeah, yeah.
And he did it for 90 minutes, and he was very, very clean and above board, and the same way Cosby was.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you've heard the whole story between Cosby and Eddie Murphy. Cosby hated Eddie
Oh,
Murphy
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because he
His
cussed.
raw bit. Yeah, it's
Because
funny.
and I think Dangerfield's first job in comedy was he wrote for Henny Youngman. He wrote punchlines for Henny Youngman, and Henny Youngman and Rickles were kind of the guys that did that kind of stuff. And I think that changed the way that comedians, it paved the way for people like Pryor and Carlin who's the guy that got arrested? Oh my God, I can't believe
Bill Cosby.
No, oh my God, I'm. This is how old I am. I'm sorry. If anybody remembers, Lenny Bruce.
Oh, Lenny Bruce. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
who I listened to. I don't think he's that funny.
Yeah.
You know, but he's edgy and he kept pushing that. He was the Dice Clay of that era where he would just say offensive things just to be offensive. But I think that fourth one, it's always going to be for me. It's always going to be Hicks and Pryor and George Carlin.
All right,
Yeah.
there's four. There's four. I'm giving 5.
That's all right.
That's fine.
All right.
I
Yeah.
guess I'll go Chappelle for sure. Chappelle's by
Yeah.
far a great storyteller that knows how to have a serious story and end with a fucking great punchline. Louis C.K. Granted, you can say whatever he wants, what he's been through, but his comedy is still just really good and just out of
he's
nowhere.
just so creative. It's
All right,
crazy.
I got my friend Jen Norman says Carlin, Jeselnik, Anthony Jeselnik,
Anthony Jeselnik.
Eddie Murphy, and Dave Chappelle. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go Murphy, and you know what? I might even actually put someone else in this one. It might be John Mulaney for me.
Oh yeah.
'Cause
Pre
Mulaney's really
or
funny.
post cocaine.
Both. I love him regardless.
He was better pre, but that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always thought it was funny too, like the juxtaposition of John Mulaney, like on stage, super wearing a suit and tie, very like clean, kind of proper,
that guy does cocaine.
and then he's like, "Wait, he's in rehab for
Did you-
cocaine?"
Did you ever see the comedians in Cars with Coffee with him?
yeah.
Yeah.
When they go buy the rug.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I
Seinfeld,
think so.
'cause he has one job that day to buy a rug, and Seinfeld picks out a rug for him. He's like, "My wife's gonna hate this rug." He's like, "Well, you're paying for it."
Yeah,
I like he's got like the old school radio voice. My favorite Mulaney,
yeah. He's very like almost like a transatlantic
Yeah.
kind of like.
my favorite Mulaney bit is about the horse in the hospital. Have you seen the one about Donald Trump being president? It's like everybody's seen a horse, everybody's seen a hospital, but have you ever seen a horse in a hospital? You know?
That's pretty good.
So
Yeah.
I think my favorite of the comedians that's out right now is Nate Bargatze.
Nate Bargatze's so good.
Nate Bargatze is hilarious.
He's like, the only joke I remember is like, "Hey, you like my jacket? I have 2 of them, one in this color and one in red. Didn't know they were reversible, so I have 2 of the same jacket now."
So Nate Bargatze's dad is a famous kids magician.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
Oh, I think he talks about that. Yeah.
And when years ago, we used to have a magic convention over Fort Collins. Steve Bargatze had come several times, and Nate came as a little kid.
Solid.
And would come to the conventions with him and travel with him and run the booth and stuff. So yeah. So Ryan Doherty, you guys know my friend Ryan Doherty. He went and saw Nate Bargatze this past summer at Red Rocks, and he had his dad open for him.
Oh, yeah.
They did-
I heard he
yeah,
does that a
that's
lot.
sick.
Yeah, I heard he does that
That's
a
fucking
lot.
He had his dad open for him.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he's like another like clean comic, and just like very southern.
yeah.
And yeah, he's like, I don't know if you
Oh.
can tell, but my accent, but I'm not as stupid as I sound, or something like that. I'm like,
Forget about
yeah,
Ralphie
I
May.
think they're-
Speaking of,
Oh,
side.
yeah.
Ralphie
I
May's from,
didn't think
from
Ralphie
Arkansas.
was that funny.
I love Ralphie.
Yeah, I never thought Ralphie May was that funny. but-
Patrick. What's his name?
Patrice.
Patrice
Oh,
O'Neill.
Patrice O'Neill. So I listened to Opie and Anthony. That was the show.
Oh,
I
yeah,
listened to, and he was a regular on that show. And that is one that I absolutely missed out on seeing. I missed out
Patrice is
seeing
hilarious,
Patrice.
man.
Dude, and all those roast things, like after he like lost his foot, everyone just talks shit about him having diabetes the whole
Did you
time.
ever see The Elephant in the Room? The special, The Elephant in the Room.
I don't think so.
That is the best. If you're going to tell somebody about Patrice O'Neill, The Elephant in the
Elephant
Room
in the
special.
Room.
It's
Okay.
on YouTube. That's where I've watched it. It's on YouTube.
Oh, solid.
Yeah,
It
Patrice
is-
is fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Patrice O'Neill. And he was in The Office.
He was in the office.
He was in a
Mhm.
couple seasons of The Office. So
Dude, yeah, there's this guy,
Bill
Brad
Burr.
Williams.
Fucking didn't mention Bill
Oh,
Burr.
yeah. God, I forgot Bill Burr. Bill Burr's definitely on Mount Rushmore for me. Yeah. I have too many
Really?
redheads, though. Might as
Bill-
well add Andrew Santino. Just to,
Carrot Top.
oh, yeah. Dude, that dude is apparently like almost 60,
Carrot Top.
and he's like shredded. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, he's like 58 or something. I'm like, dude, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, going from, and he's like, I'm not really that big. I just cut. And I'm old, so I have that old, scraggly old man body. I'm like, okay, man, you look ripped, whatever. Yeah,
Fuck. Yeah, I forgot about Bill Burr.
yeah.
I had to take a break from him though. He just those
Well,
guys
he
a
stopped.
lot.
He stopped drinking, so he's a little more collected.
There
But
are
that's still
there are
still off
people
the
that
rails.
have been canceled for way less shit than Bill Burr gets away with saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is. I don't know why Same with Jimmy Kimmel. Does nobody remember
The Man Show.
The Man Show?
Dude, the Man Show is great. I love
But
the
I
Man
mean,
Show.
but I'm saying that Louis C.K. went through hell for something that I think is probably less offensive than the Man Show.
Yeah, just the Man
I mean,
Show in general.
with Doug Stanhope. Remember Doug Stanhope on that show?
Yeah, because it was Kimmel
Carolla
and Adam Carolla, and then
Doug Stanhope.
Stanhope, and then Rogan took over.
Oh, I don't know that. I don't know.
I don't know who
no.
took over
Yeah.
after them, but yeah.
But how does that work? How does Jimmy? I mean, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but I just think that it's been very selective on who we've.
I think it's.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think a lot of it has to
Thrown
do
under
that
the
they
bus.
they put that out there in the beginning, so it's like, well, we already know that this was him. I think with Louis C.K. was one of those things where it was like behind the scenes that kind of made it worse.
Yeah.
There's videos of you remember Ted Danson got in so much trouble for doing blackface.
Oh yeah,
know?
with Whoopi Goldberg. Right?
There are Jimmy Kimmel blackface videos from
He played Carl Malone in a skit.
right.
And he didn't play black face. He had black body.
Yeah.
He was just fully Carl Malone.
Hey, blackface was cool. back in the day.
Also his impression of Carl Malone was spot on. It was really good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Minus
funny.
the black face, but
It's and that's what sucks about comedies. It is a lot more. It's a lot harder to do, and I think with Just Cause, I'm sure there's some things that you're like, yeah, I probably shouldn't be talking about that, but sometimes it's like you miss like those Don Rickles. Like I love Don Rickles because he was just a fucking dick, but it was hilarious.
Oh, I mean,
you know what I mean? That would never slide anymore.
No.
or like how all Rodney Dangerfield talks about was doing cocaine and banging whores. Like just the way he said whores was funny. He's like whores.
There's I follow Rodney Dangerfield on social media.
Yeah.
And his estate posts tons of clips with him in Carson.
Oh
on
yeah.
the Carson show, back when the Tonight Show meant something.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Back before they, they're great. So Rickles was on Opie and Anthony quite a bit, and Don Rickles has been on every host of the Tonight Show. He'd been on
That's cool.
even all of the subs and stuff. Everybody that hosted the Tonight Show had interviewed Don Rickles, and so Opie and Anthony asked him, Jimmy Fallon's in charge now. Are you going to go on? He goes, no. And they're like, well, why not? You could say you were on. He goes, because I don't play fucking ping pong.
Oh yeah, because that's all Jimmy Fallon does now is have stupid games and
Oh,
bits.
fucking Don
Oh,
Rickles, hilarious, dude.
Yeah, but the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson used to mean something. It used to be a big deal.
Yeah, that's very true.
So, all right. Well, I
Little
think we're about
rush.
ready to wrap it up here. You guys got anything you want to plug? You got the show coming up next Friday. Are
Yeah.
you guys on Spotify? Is Defeat the Purpose on Spotify?
Yeah, so you can check us out as we're on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music at Defeats the Porpoise EP on all of those. It's a 6-song EP. That's
Okay.
mostly our demos, but yeah.
Okay.
And same with me, Defeats the Porpoise EP as well. no, I'm also on all the streaming platforms as well. So is our podcast. If you guys want to check that out,
Yeah,
our
that too.
podcast it's pretty interesting. It is literally just us talking about random shit. What's been your favorite subject on that podcast? I know what mine is.
Oh, you're gonna say boners?
Oh yeah, first boners is by far my favorite subject we've ever talked about.
Yeah. I don't know. It's probably talking shit about Mac. Is my
That's
favorite.
Apple, yeah. He
Yeah.
fucking hates Apple, but look at everything around you is Apple. So
Yeah,
suck it, Chris.
yeah.
Not my phone. It's a Motorola.
Yeah, so check that out, you guys.
And
We
I
also
hate it.
we also have what's called Sunday sessions, which is actually this is really cool. We're gonna have our local musician Ben Poo play at Luna's Tacos here in Greeley. But if you're not there because you're in Germany, we're actually gonna be live streaming it as well. So make sure you guys are on lookout
Yeah,
for that.
follow
stuff.
What's it on?
It's gonna be on YouTube.
GFY Productions.
GFY Productions. Okay. You
On
guys
Stands
YouTube.
for good for you.
Yeah. Or go fuck yourself. Depends who's asking.
That's true. Yeah, it's pretty true.
All right. Well, thanks guys for joining us on a Wednesday afternoon. We'll be back Sunday with Paul Prater and Amy Jones and Haunted Arkansas Tours. And then Sunday, October 8th, Brandon Ringo from Mammoth Caravan. Sunday, October 29th, Ryan Roth will be interviewing me. And I have to have lunch with him before then and give him a list of topics that we will not be discussing. Ryan knows me fairly well, and there are things that I absolutely do not want to bring up. Sunday, November 5th, Terry Tyson, who's probably one of the biggest experts in sand,
Yeah.
seance and talking to the dead. I've got a medium named Madeline who's reached out and wants to be on. I've got a friend named Dan Mothershed who's an actor and a writer, and I want him to be on. I've got a couple other folks. A band from Wisconsin called Thunder Goat has reached out, and they're a
I
metal
love
band.
that. Yeah.
I've got a couple friends.
Sounds very Viking.
As I mentioned, I've got a friend who's argued in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. I want him to come on. I've got a couple.
What did he argue about, if you want me to ask?
I don't remember. I'm sure he's told me, but I don't remember. But I mean, it's got to be something, right?
It's gotta be, yeah.
Hopefully, it's not like a lawn. I left my lawnmower out, you know.
Yeah, right.
An HOA deal. Wouldn't that be
like
funny?
petition to make
A homeowner association
All the way
argument
to the
goes
Supreme Court.
It's like a petition to make quiet time start at 11 instead of 10.
Yeah.
Right.
That'll be good.
So I've got this identical setup in Little Rock, Arkansas. So I'll start the first one from there, and there's going to be a lot of little pop-up ones, just where somebody comes by and decides we have a few drinks and we just go on and talk some shit. So again, anybody have a suggestion, want to come on, let me know. I'm not set on the Sunday idea. We can do Wednesday afternoons. We can do pretty much any time. So
It's true.
thanks guys again. And I know
Yeah,
I
of
say
course.
this and then you guys roll it off. It doesn't mean anything. This podcast would not exist without you guys. The G came and saved us the other day. What we had worked on for about 5 hours, G fixed in about 25 minutes.
Yeah, pretty
Well-
much.
Well, hey man, cheers to you.
Because
and
we
cheers
already
to-
we already spent the 5 hours
Yeah.
doing our stuff.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's
we
right.
invested in it. So
So check out their podcast. It's a lot of fun. I've been on
Are we
2 or
cheersing?
3 times, I think.
I mean, a little bit.
yeah,
And
times.
and you guys, if it ever works out and I'm in town and you need a guest host, I'll come down and run my mouth for a while.
as you should.
But yeah, and I think so. Skip is probably the only person that's been on more than me.
Skip's on it twice.
Yeah. So I think you have 3.
Okay.
Yes,
No,
2.
2.
Yes, 2.
Yeah. Skip
Uh,
has 2.
Jory Jory's the most.
Yeah, but Jory kind of doesn't. He's more of a co-host now than a
Okay,
guest. But
okay.
he has like 3 or 4 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, hey man, no, like I said, at the end of the day, it just takes effort to do it. If you have an idea, make sure you guys do it. Honestly, like huge shout out to Paul. I will say this, like this dude, could have been working at a corporate job, being miserable as shit, and decided, hey, I'm nerdy as fuck, and I'm gonna make sure that I make my dream happen, and has happened. So,
Well,
I mean, I don't get it. I don't fucking like scary shit, but that's on me.
Yeah, you're not
Uh,
a spooky person.
I'm not a spooky person at all. I fucking hate Halloween. But I will say that the one thing that I appreciate about Paul is that he was determined to do it and he's doing it. So whether it was art because of us, like his drive to do this shit is what fucking keeps my shit fucking hard.
well, thanks guys. I just on a little news on the mystery collection. I'm pretty busy in October in Little Rock. And I think I'm going to take the rest of the year off. I think there's not going to be a mystery collection show for some time.
And that's okay, honestly.
I love my show, and now saying that, if I got a call for a corporate show or a private party, I probably would take it in for the holidays.
Mhm.
But I'm not gonna book any public shows. I did a week at the Stanley Hotel, and that's a good way to kind of like, all right, let's 8 years built up to doing a week at the Stanley. Let's kind of revamp and kind of
Yeah, it's a good goal, man.
go forward. So I'll probably do the Stanley again next year. I talked to them about maybe doing it again next year, and got a couple conventions next year that I don't know if I'll perform. I'm going to a convention in January in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's called East Coast Spirit Sessions, and it's the greatest convention. It's I can't even really call it a convention anymore. It's more of a reunion. I mean, I look so much forward to seeing dudes that I haven't seen in a year, and we just hang out and we have fun. And this is the first year that I'm not performing.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
not doing anything. I just am
Going
going
to hang.
go and sit
enjoy.
and
Yeah.
enjoy. And I'm really looking forward to that. We've got an offer. Paul Prater and I have an offer to go to England in May and do some shows and perform at a convention.
You need someone to document that for you?
Well, here's the problem, and as much as I want to go, it's the week before my kid graduates from high school,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I just, I
That means it's the week before my kid graduates from high school.
right.
So
My kid, the convention will happen next year. My kid won't graduate from high school next year.
yeah,
So you would be in England while she's graduating.
it's just a lot.
No, I would get back probably the Wednesday or Thursday before the graduation.
Yeah,
Fine, bro.
but that's just a lot. Like planning like graduation parties, having people come into town. There's a lot of
And,
Yeah, make Chris
organizing
do
to
it.
do.
Just make Chris do it.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
My graduation is going to be an interesting event because I have Leah, my stepdaughter, and I was married to her mother when she
Yeah.
graduated. And this is going to be an interesting navigating.
I just realized the selfish me because I don't have a kid. I'm like, yeah, fucking do it.
Yeah, right,
Both of you guys have like 2 daughters that are graduating. I'm like,
yeah,
the fuck,
yeah.
you don't worry about it.
Yeah, right. So it's
I
going to
get
be
it.
an interesting graduation, and my kid is
everything.
pretty awesome. So
Yeah.
I want to spend the time with her. So
That's cool, man.
and then so if you have any desire for a mystery collection show,
You better book them.
Yeah, reach out because there's not going to be a lot of. I really think the show I did in was it March, the big 8th anniversary? Yeah, March, the 8th anniversary of me quitting my job show. That might be the last Greeley show for a while.
Yeah,
if not the last Greeley show.
Yeah.
I had so much fun at that show. Joey, do you guys know Joey? You've probably seen him around.
Yeah, probably.
The '90s magician.
Mhm.
It was him and Rob Walker. I don't know if you guys know Rob Walker and Ryan Doherty. And it was so much fun working with those guys. Ryan Doherty, I'm sure you've heard the story. We were playing Frisbee golf one time, and it was his 45th birthday. And he said that he made a list on his 25th birthday of 20 things he wanted to get done by the time he turned 45. And I said, how many did you get done? And he said, 19. And I said, what was the 20th? And he said, I wanted to perform stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, awesome. So I had a show 2 months later at Tower, or 477.
Yeah.
It's always going to be Tower.
Yeah.
It's always going to be
I call tight knit bricks on the regular.
Right. And I while we're playing Frisbee golf, I messaged my poster guy and I said, I need you to add Ryan Doherty stand-up comedy. And I said, well, Ryan, good thing for you. I've got a show and now you're opening. He's like, oh, no. And I showed him the poster and I said, you're opening.
Too late. Yeah.
And he's done it. He's gone on and done it again and again and again.
Yeah.
You know, and it really, you know, so, and then getting to work with Joey and Rob. So if I get a chance to do a show with them, I'll probably do one, but I don't know. I'm just kind of,
No, man,
You know how it goes.
you're satisfied with where you're at, and that's the thing that some people don't understand is like you playing at the Stanley was probably like a huge highlight, and you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna ride on that for a little bit, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, savor the moment.
It's having those goals and reaching them and taking a break because
and I
sometimes.
think it's kind of like, you know, I'm not going to even compare what I do to being a touring musician,
But you are.
but
It's
you,
similar.
you know, after a big tour, you want to write a new album.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
you tour on an album for long enough that you got to sit back and kind of, all right, we're going to stay home for a bit and write a new album. I need to work on some new stuff.
Yeah. And that's completely fair.
So, but yeah. So guys, thanks so much.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for inviting us.
You guys are dear friends, and I owe you a lot for help on this. And so check these guys out. Best of 5 podcasts, GFY Productions. Yeah. So I'll drop the links in the comments. And yeah, stay tuned. Any last words?
Just want to
Cheers.
cheers
Yeah,
to
cheers.
getting shit done and
There we go.
fucking around and finding
Cheers.
out.
All right.
And go Manchester United, by the way.
Real quick, Rocky's gonna lose 100.
I think so, yeah.
G.
Yeah,
I think they're going to lose exactly 100 games.
I hope they do.
You know what? I hope they do too.
Yeah, I do.
So were you happy when Aaron Rodgers broke his clapper?
No, no, I really wasn't.
Yeah.
But I
didn't-
also didn't care. So
I
it's
didn't
fine.
care.
Will you be happy when the Rockies lose 100?
Yes.
Yeah, because it kind of is like a reality check. Like, let's fix this organization.
Were you surprised that they're the only team, one of the 2 teams that hasn't?
That surprised me, but they also have been mediocre for a long time.
Yeah.
Where they made the playoffs consistently in the later of the 2000 teens, and then they just kind of 19 just dropped off. Yeah.
All right, guys.
But, yeah.
So thanks a lot, and check us out on Sunday. And this will be on the podcast formats and YouTube probably by the end of the day. These guys got to stick around and show me how to do that shit again. I haven't done that in a while. So, all right. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Check it.
Bye.
Peace.